So, hello students and welcome back to BankExamsToday.com. So today we are continuing our series of SEBI's annual report, which is really important for SEBI's Grade A exam. SEBI's Grade A exam. So in the security market awareness, this SEBI's annual report acts as a, you can say, analysis of SEBI's current affair for the whole year. So this is a 237 pages report which you can download for free from SEBI's official website. So let's start. Today we are going to discuss the part related to the mutual funds. So that's really important. I'm going to keep this lecture really short, around 15 minutes. I'm not going to take much of your time. So if you are able to hear my voice properly, and if you're facing any issue, you can let me know right away. If there is any problem, so just let me know if you are facing any problem in the session. I hope everything is working fine. I hope. Should we start now? So just give me a thumbs up. I think it's working fine. So don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It's not a difficult exam. Anchal Shivam Ekta. So a lot of students live now. So let's start. So before starting, let me tell you, if you're looking for the test series, you can take the test series separately on store.bankexamstudy.com. The video classes, notes and test series, especially test series. I request all of you to take the test series from store.bankexamstudy.com. Use a coupon code SEBI30. That's available on bankexamstudy.com. So just install the mobile application and take the test series. So that's really important for you. Let's start. So today we are discussing mutual funds. See students, in the mutual funds, I hope you are already aware about the concept of mutual fund. It is a pool of money. AMC is there and AMC needs to pay the remuneration or the salaries to the executives. Now, as per SEBI, in order to promote the transparency, the remuneration policies of the AMCs need to, disclose the executives' remuneration pertaining to the financial year on their website under a separate head named as remuneration. So all the AMC like Reliance Asset Management is there, HDFC Asset Management is there, Mirai is there, L&T is there. So all of them, you can go to their websites. Now there will be a separate head under their website that will be remuneration, under which they need to tell how much money they are paying to their fund managers and to their executives, right? To their top executives. I hope that's clear to you. I'm going to answer all your doubts after completing the class. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. So instant access facility, IAF, that's really important. So now there is a facility known as the IAF. Suppose you have some money. So suppose you have some money in a particular mutual fund. Let's say you have 5 lakh rupees, or let's say you have 1.5 lakh rupees in Reliance Small Cap Fund, and you need the money by today only. So now there is a facility known as the IAF. So the money that is there in that particular fund, that will once you redeem that fund, you want to redeem that fund. If you redeem that before 3 o'clock, and most of the funds it is 3 o'clock is the cutoff time. If you do that before the cutoff time, normally it is 2 or 3 o'clock. If you do that before 3, it's 3 o'clock in case of Reliance. If you do that before 3 o'clock, that balance will be shown, it will be visible in your bank account statement on the same day. You'll get the money on the same day. So that is instant access facility, but you need to redeem your fund, your funds before the cutoff time. In case of Reliance, that is 3 o'clock. That depends upon fund to fund. So that's really important. Let's move forward. Use of e-wallets for the investment in mutual fund. Now that one is important. There can be question like how, by which payment mediums the investment can be made in the mutual funds. E-wallets such as Paytm. Then there is Amazon Pay is there. Flipkart wala bhi tha ek. There are many actually. I use them only. I mean, there is another one by Flipkart as well, and many other wallets are there, e-wallets are there, which can be used for the investment in mutual fund. So these are prepaid payment instruments, PPI, the Paytm is now, I think, a small payment bank as well, but Amazon Pay is a classic example. This is not a payment bank, this is not a small finance bank, this is a pure Amazon Pay is a e-wallet. So investments in mutual fund can be made via e-wallets or the prepaid payment instruments. Previously that was not possible, but now it is possible. Should we move forward? I think yes, we should move forward. Yes, phone pay. Phone pay. Somebody told me by Flipkart it is phone pay. I have some balance on phone pay as well, so it's phone pay. Thank you, Anchal. All guys watching this, please like this video. Thank you, Anchal. So review of norms for participation in derivatives by mutual funds. Now please read this carefully, student. This one is really important. Yesterday I told you that mutual funds are allowed to invest in derivatives to short their positions. The SEBI had earlier allowed mutual funds to hedge scheme portfolio by using derivative contracts. Do one thing, go to morningstar.in, search for Kotak Standard Multicap, go to the detailed portfolio. You will see that Kotak Multicap, they are shorting the Maruti Suzuki shares. All the shares will be there. It will be written like for Britannia they have so lakh shares, that many lakh share. For HDFC that many lakh shares. For Maruti it will be shown minus. The number of shares will be shown in minus. Why I know this? Because I just saw that in the morning. So they can hedge it. What is hedging? It's kind of an insurance, right? With a view to reduce the interest rate risk in the debt portfolio. Now SEBI has allowed mutual fund to hedge the portfolio or the part of portfolio on the weighted average modified duration basis by using interest rate futures. Previously SEBI allowed in equity. The SEBI allowed derivatives in equity. Now they have allowed the derivatives in the debt funds. Are you getting it? That's a big news. Really important. Previously it was allowed in equity. Now it is allowed in debt fund as well. Let's move forward. Enhancing the fund governance for mutual fund. That one is actually really important. See students, we as an investor, we invest our money. We give our money. A lot of investors, they give their money to an asset management company. And asset management company, they hire a fund manager. What if those fund managers or the asset management companies, those are not honest? The whole mutual fund industry and stock market, they'll crash. Nobody is going to invest money there. So SEBI is taking strict actions against them and they are making strict laws and rules. So an independent trustee or the director shall hold office for a maximum of 2 consecutive terms. So an independent trustee or an independent director, he can hold an office for 2 terms of 5 years. 5 years ka 2 terms, 5 years. Then there need to be a gap of 3 years. That is known as the cooling off period. There need to be a gap of 3 years. He cannot assign an agent or what to take the control of AMC. So he need to get over it, or get off his position for 3 years. That is a cooling off period. Then again he can come back to the company. That same rule applies to auditors. So auditor, he can hold the office for 5 years, 2 terms of 5 years, and then there need to be a cooling off period of 5 years. In case of an auditor, cooling off period is 5 years. During these 5 years, another auditor is to be hired, and then after these 5 years, 5 years of cooling period, he can be again hired as an auditor. So that's really important. 3 years of cooling period in case of independent trustee and director, and 5 years of cooling period in case of an auditor. 5 years ke 2 terms are there in case of an independent trustee and director, and again in terms of an auditor there are 2 terms or 2 two terms actually. There can be two consecutive terms of 5 years each in case of auditors as well as in case of independent trustee and independent directors. I hope you are getting the point. This one is really important. Agar samajh nahi aaya, if you are unable to understand it, please let me know. So let's move forward. Good attempt. It's a bad question, but it's a good attempt. Let's forget about it. Changes in the TER. What is TER? Total expense ratio. Total expense ratio. The money you pay to the percentage of money of fund of your investment that you pay to the AMC, asset management company, for managing your money. The SEBI, बहुत pollution आज यहाँ पे लुधियाना में, seriously बहुत ज़्यादा. So let's forget about it. The SEBI had earlier allowed asset management company to charge additional TER, additional total expense ratio of 30 basis point on the basis of daily net asset of the scheme. Earlier, they could charge that money on cities beyond top 15 cities. They could charge that 30 basis point on cities beyond top 15 city. But now it is beyond top 30 cities. That has been changed. Before that was top 15. Now it is top 30. They can charge additional 30 basis point beyond top 30 cities. Okay, I hope you're getting it. Let's move forward. Now another point. Another change in the total expense ratio. So just a second. Oops. Earlier, the asset management companies were allowed to charge additional expense. Whatever was mentioned on their scheme, they were allowed to charge additional 20 basis point or 0.2%. 0.2% they were allowed to charge this separately, additional, or this was a hidden expense. They could charge this money, but now it is not allowed. This thing is not allowed. Before this circular, it was allowed to charge additional expense of 0.2%, but now it is not allowed. Okay. So norms for shareholding and governance of mutual funds. Now that's also really important. The sponsor and its associates holding 10% or more. Read this carefully. The sponsor and its associate or any shareholder holding 10% or more shares in the board, more shares or board representation. These are different. Sponsor and its associate or any shareholder holding 10% or anybody holding 10% or more shares or board representation in a mutual funds are not allowed to hold 10% or more stake in the board representation in AMC. Why they did it? If there is a single investor who invested, let's say 20% in a mutual fund, and the same person is having more than 10% in the AMC, what about the rest of the 80% people? They are going to, because they are going to suffer. Because that person who's having 20% or 50%, he's having, say, because he invested money, so he got into the AMC's board, so he's going to take decisions for the rest of the investors. Why? So the rest of the investors are going to suffer for that. So it is not allowed. If you are having more than 10% of the shares, if you are a sponsor, if you are an associate of the sponsor, or if you are having a board representation in the mutual fund, you are not allowed to hold more than 10% of the stake in the board representation of the asset management company. I hope you're getting it. That's quite simple and easy. Let's move forward. Advisory committee. That's really simple. The SEBI has an advisory committee on a mutual fund which comprises of industrial representatives, investor associate and government representatives. So that is simply a platform for the interaction related to the mutual fund industry. Who's the chairman right now? This committee is chaired by Arundhati Bhattacharya. So really important, Arundhati Bhattacharya is the chairman of advisory committee on mutual funds. So that's all for today, students. That was a pretty short lecture. If there is any doubt in your mind, you can ask me right away. But I think that's 6:30 now. There's a lot of time gone. So our SEBI Grade A course, you can take the complete course. In case you're looking just for the security market awareness classes, you can take the classes. I hope you can complete that within 3 to 4 days. Yes, you can do it. Because you are taking it for just 4-5 days, we are providing the discount of 30%. Anyways, you can take the test series, notes. Everything is available on store.bankexamstoday.com, and the free notes are also available on BankExamsToday mobile application. So that's all for today, students. I hope you like this lecture. Let me just know if there is any doubt. Thank you everybody. Please like this video and subscribe the channel, really important for me. So that's all for today, students. And one more thing, students, एक request है आपके लिए. बहुत pollution है. There's a lot of pollution out there. पटाखे मत चलाया कीजिए और pollution मत कीजिए. इतना परेशान हो रखे हैं. Please, request.